Hey everybody, Aaron Blaise here, and I was just doing some animation. I'm working on my animated short Snow Bear. And I'm doing a short scene where I have our polar bear kind of rise up into the shot, look around, and then go down. Now, in this Arctic environment, I want the audience to feel that environment. And so I thought it would be, it's a very windy, cold day in the shot that we're showing. And so I thought it would be really good to show the fur on the polar bear's neck blowing in the wind. And so I animated it that way. I really like it. I think it came out pretty successful. And so I thought I would sit down with you and just show you how I animated the windy fur, because sometimes people will get a little bit hung up on that kind of stuff, all that secondary action that goes into animating characters. It's one thing to animate the emotion, things like that, but then there's environmental things that you want to animate, like blowing fur or the hair bouncing or things like that. Clothes that billow and whatnot. So I thought I would kind of get in here and take you through it frame by frame and show you what I was thinking. Let's dive in. So here's the first frame right here. And the first thing I want to tell you is when you get into things like right along here, the edge of the neck, where that fur is fairly short but still a little bit shaggy, you really don't have to follow any kind of animation. Each drawing I do, watch as I scrub through here, each drawing I do, if you look at the neck, the edge, it's just random. They're all just random, but different. So I make sure that from drawing to drawing, like here, I have a lot of the fur sticking straight out. And if you look at the drawing before, a lot of the fur is flat. So I'm really just having it bounce randomly all around. And when that plays at speed, because it's so short, it feels like it's vibrating and being blown by really fast wind. Our brain tells us that's what's going on. Now, when we get into the longer fur, like under the chin and along the center of the neck, that's where I want to actually do some animation. And so I'm trying to get waves of action going through the fur. But I can still be somewhat spontaneous with it as well and random. So so sometimes I'll start a wave through and then I'll pop it into another position. And what that does, it starts to make it feel like it's gusty, blowing wind, like it's got a little wave of something going through and all of a sudden, pop, it gets hit by a gust of wind. And so it becomes very, very, not quite as random as the short fur on the neck, but still somewhat random, and it plays like hard blowing wind. And so if you look at the fur under the chin, I've actually got it animating and then all of a sudden it blows back. But there's always 2 or 3 drawings that go together, and you can feel those S shapes, feel the energy go through, see that come back, and then it's gonna blow through again right there. Feel that? See that wind blow the fur? And it's gonna blow it out even more. Some of it's gonna come back. And so I keep some, like along in the side of the neck, I'll keep that really random. But a lot of the stuff under the chin, I'll keep that like it's tracking the energy. See that under the chin right there? But it's only 2 or 3, maybe 4 drawing cycles of action. If you get any more than that, it's going to start feeling too slow. And this is all being animated on 2s. What does 2s mean? It means it's 2 frames for every drawing. So every drawing is being held for 2 frames, which means I get basically 12 drawings for every second. And so that means that this fur is going to cycle through about 3 to 4 times a second, like that. If I do about every 3 drawings. Okay, so you get this really great kind of random feel to the fur, and it feels like wind blowing. So that's really all it takes. And obviously too, there's a certain drawing aesthetic to it. You want it to feel, like fur. You don't want to get too many lines in there, but you want some lines in there to make it feel shaggy, which is what I've done here. And so it really depends on this technique between the kind of the randomness of the drawings and that little bit of follow through on the drawings. Combining those together, it really gets our brain. And if you add the sound effect of wind, our brain goes, oh, that's windy fur. And we just fill in the gaps. This technique kind of works also with like a hummingbird wing flying. You know, it's just a random squiggle of lines, but because you know it's supposed to be a hummingbird, our brain fills it in as wings beating. And in this case, the randomness of the fur just tells us, oh, it's wind blowing fur. And there you go. So you can see that those drawings are fairly random, but then we get into some little bit of overlap, especially in the profile, that silhouette under the chin, where you can see that fur animate. And that's all there is to it. And it's just a matter of drawing over and over and over and getting through it. Well, there you go. So that's how I animated blowing fur on my polar bear for Snow Bear. And stick around, because we're going to be doing a lot of these through the course of me animating through Snow Bear. We're going to have a lot of fun. I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. And so until next time, go on out there, put some beauty back in the world, and I will talk to you later.